So I wasn't necessarily planning to do a YouTube recording today, but I just did a recording for myself, kind of like for my own personal memory bank. And I thought, oh, you know what? The camera's set up. I might as well just go ahead and make my recording for Saturday now. So the thing that has been popping into my awareness to share is about projection. And I first learned the word projection from my younger sister, probably a decade ago or so. And I thought, and her comment at the time was, oh, I just hate it when people project onto me. And I'm like, what does she mean by that? I really didn't have a clue or an awareness of what she meant by that, but it was a comment that kind of stuck with me. And so on my spiritual journey here to learn to open my intuitive gifts and what it means to look at the thoughts and the beliefs and the patterns in the subconscious, I learned a lot more about projection. So I understand more now that I thought, you know what, it might be helpful for me to share it with you. Because maybe you're, where I was 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Or maybe you're right here along with me where I am today, and just what I have to share from my perspective may just help to broaden your perspective as well. So a projection is where somebody's own thoughts or beliefs about themselves are projected onto you, and you absorb or take them on as beliefs about yourself. And we all do this, and there's no shame in it. It's happened. It's part of our learning. So it's an important part of our learning. And so we don't label it as good or bad. It just is one of those things. But it's one of those things I think that you want to just to be aware of, because not only are you projecting to others the thoughts or fears of your own, but you're also receiving thoughts and fears of others. And it's an important distinction to know whether or not that thought, that belief, that fear is yours, like from that you have created, or if it's a projection that you have taken on as yours. And so so it's just good to know, to step back and to be in the awareness of where that thought or that fear is coming from, because it may be yours and it may not be. And so what I would recommend is, if you recognize that it isn't yours, you can still gain a lesson or a blessing from that fear or that projection of that thought. But then bundle up that belief, and just, pretend you're putting all that energy of that belief into a box, wrap it with paper, ribbon, and a bow, and just hand it back to the person with love and gratitude, because it has provided a beautiful lesson for you. And it would be just awesome. And if that other person could receive the same lesson and blessing from their projection that you received. But whether they do or they don't, of course, that's their journey. But still send it back with love and gratitude, because it has helped you to grow, and that's a beautiful thing. So that's one part of it. So I thought maybe also an example would be helpful. As a parent, of course, I can tell you from my personal experience, want only the greatest and the best for my children, and I want them to grow up happy and healthy. And so sometimes my own worries or concerns will be projected onto them. And I have an 18-year-old who has been very good at calling me out when he feels that he's receiving a projection of mine. And the common phrase is, "Mom, is that an ish you or an ish me?" I'm like, gosh, that really used to irritate me. But you know what? He has a lot of wisdom in that. And I had to stop it. I had to think, I thought, oh gosh, you know what? That it is an ish me. That's my fear. That's my concern. And it doesn't have to be his. right? He may be totally comfortable and confident in the choices that he's making. And I'm just really here to love and support him. So it's really helped me to grow, I should say, a lot in the last, gosh, even 6 months. Just, becoming aware of that. And so it's also allowed me a lot of freedom, I do have to say. A lot of freedom in the mental headspace, and the fear from the heart too. Because I can just give that up. I don't have to have fears and thoughts about what might happen and all of that, because really he's on his own journey, right? And that's true of anybody in your life. Everybody is on their own journey, and we are all here just to love and support one another on that journey, whatever may come. So I guess that's my little bit about projection and becoming aware of it and owning it when it's yours, and owning and learning from it either way, whether it's yours or not. So yeah, I'm sure there will be more on projection again in the future, because it's a big part of who I am and what I've experienced in life. And I know that there will be more to share on that in the future. So thanks, and stay tuned.